Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I know it's Monday, June 8th, 2026. You are tuned in to the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you way too much information. I be the M in that. I'm Manila Chan. And there be the T, Ted Rall. Uh, we do this thing live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please be sure to hit the like, the follow, the share, and the subscribe button. So we can grow our little happy family show here. That's exactly right. It's a family friendly show. I'm saying that in jest, Ted.
Very,
very not.
Very justy.
Yes, there are a lot of F-bombs here. A little bit of housekeeping, Ted. We missed this from Maybe Bluth Funke on Friday for the donation. Thank you for the donation. She asked you a question, Ted, because you were talking about socialism and people were conflating liberal with the left. That's what we were talking about last week.
That happens a lot.
And maybe asked, why not just go full anarchist, Ted? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, so look, anarchism has had a kissing cousin relationship with the left historically. And so there's a lot to admire about anarchism, beginning with its distrust of the state. But that said, I don't think it works, is the bottom line. Anarchism, I don't see how anarchism is going to get us to equality of wealth and income, which is where we need to be in order to have a just and equitable society. So therefore, that's my problem with anarchism. It leaves too much, up to the whims of the marketplace.
Yeah, see, I'm not with Ted on any of that. What did was it Bush 1 that called it compassionate capitalism?
Conservatism. Compassionate conservatism.
Sorry.
Is what he wanted.
Right. And then the modern businesses and whatever, some that are more, aware of like social causes, they took that and went into conservative capitalism because for obvious reasons.
Or you mean compassionate capitalism?
Yeah, compassionate capitalism. So they're running with that. And I'm going with that because I'm going to say not everybody, obviously we all is not created equal, Ted. And some people are fucking derps.
Yes, we are.
Some people are derps and contribute nothing to the world.
Everyone contributes something.
Oh, Ted. And I don't believe that a let's say the dog walker should make the same as a neurosurgeon.
I have no problem with that at all. When you need brain surgery, you really need brain surgery. And when you need your dog walked, you really need your dog walked. And it's completely subjective to say, seriously, how important is a dog walker? Okay, so a lot of people really love dogs, right? Like millions, tens of millions of Americans.
Me and Robbie are dog folks first.
A lot of people love
Robbie's shaking his head. Hold on. We're dog people first and then cat second.
Even though I'm a cat person first, I totally can understand people who love their dogs. And so the point is, okay, so are you telling people that because they have a job, they shouldn't be able to own a dog? They shouldn't have the companionship of their beloved pet, which can, help them in terms of their mental.
But that's not the argument. Health. I'm saying the pay.
Well, there's no dog.
A neurosurgeon should make the same.
If you have no dog walker, you can't have a dog and a job. Okay, you got to have a dog walker.
But that producer, you don't have the show, so then why should I? So then why should I be paid equal to what the two of you make? Because I'm not.
Well, we spend more time on it.
Well, there you go. Then you just answered your own question. That's why
the dog walker spends as much time walking your dog as the brain surgeon does.
I'm not disparaging dog walkers.
Your skull.
Now, how's that hypocrisy taste there, Ted?
I'm not disparaging
it tastes
dog
like
walkers. Obviously,
coffee.
There are the migrant lawnmower guy, right? He's needed. he's needed. We appreciate him. But should he make the same as a neurosurgeon or an airline pilot? Probably not. There's a lot more time and dedication, to go into those fields.
Well, under capitalism, you guys are right, but I'm arguing for a different economic system. That's all.
But it doesn't work. I mean, for example, if you and Manila, y'all are we'll just use the show as an example. Y'all are the hosts. Y'all find the majority of the stories. Y'all decide what it is that y'all want to do. I hang out in the background, click some buttons, post some comments, make some shorts, clips, and then occasionally have an idea that pisses off like 3/4 of the viewership.
That's your most valuable contribution.
That is true.
But what the two of you do is worth more, because without the two
under
of you,
capitalism, that would be correct.
Ted, it's forget capitalism. That's a statement of fact. What you and Manila do is of a higher importance than what it is that I do, because without the talent, there would be no show for me to produce.
But as you just said earlier, without a producer, there is no show.
But you could do producer. But you could do producer work, though. You just choose not to. So we have free time to do what you want to do.
I would argue, though, Robbie, as the longer the show goes on and the more people get to know you, even if they hate watch you, you are building your own Robbie brand.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe.
You're creating quite the Robbie following, even if it's hate watch. It's still a following.
Yeah, I'll take it. But
I've been having hate social media watching for the last 2 days.
Oh, did you see how Ted went viral over the weekend?
Ted did? No,
yeah, Ted did.
I'm not doing anything except.
Oh my Lord! No, it was fun, and
over 6,000 replies on one stupid post, and like over
250,000 replies,
250,000 views. But the replies were like crazy.
Yes,
what about what?
It was so dumb. Some right-wing influencer posted one of those dumb things. Look how beautiful the reflecting pool is now that Trump has put in the swimming pool bottom at the bottom. Never mind the fact that, a very distinguished architect who designed that thing wanted it to be dark, so that it would reflect better. But anyway, who cares what a distinguished architect from 100 years ago had to say? But everyone was like, look how great the reflecting pool looks now. And all I posted was, I'd rather have health care. And they went crazy. It's such an anodyne comment. I mean, it should have gotten
I don't get that.
3 likes, and that should have been the end of it.
The reflecting pool itself is dumb and gay, because I mean, Washington D.C. is built in a swamp. It's a mosquito nest.
True.
It's true.
Why would you want it? I mean, you'd be better off just making a statuary garden.
And it's a waste.
It's shallow too. It's like this deep.
It's like our president. It's shallow like our president.
Yeah, it's big, wide, and shallow. Big, wide, and shallow, and it is. I will tell you. I don't know about. I haven't been to it in the since Trump came into office, but I was just downtown last Sunday, and I didn't see the reflecting pool, but I did see all the construction going on the National Mall. The White House is completely cordoned off, north lawn, south lawn, all the way around over by the Eisenhower office building, which is, if you're facing the north lawn to the right, that's where the guy tried to do the last shooting, where he was gunned down himself. So anyway, the White House everything's cordoned off. You cannot.
Don't you think we're going to kind of need an assassination infrastructure where there's like a special hut for them to check in? Like if you're here to try to assassinate the president, please sign.
Please queue up over there.
Sign the logbook. Here's where
your turn.
Here's where you upload your Facebook manifesto.
Right. You should. Here's where you wait your turn. You get 3 shots. If by the 3rd one it doesn't work, we get to shoot and kill you. Secret Service gets to shoot and kill you.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'd be like Hunger Games and shit. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But so my whole thing about touring, giving myself a tour just to see what's up with DC, because I haven't been downtown for months. So you can see the Octagon from the 14th Street drag. It's the main street for those who don't know. You can see the Octagon, like cranes and everything building the Octagon. For the UFC
that's the cage match thing.
Yeah.
We've got breaking news.
That's coming up Sunday. Yeah, isn't that cage match
Sunday?
Yeah,
Sunday.
So this is being reported right now by Omani media. The U.S. Navy attacked a tanker subject to anti-Iranian sanctions off the coast of Oman. The engine room was hit, and the oil tanker is currently sinking.
And so leaking into the beautiful coast of Oman. Let me just tell you,
That is
Oman
a
is
beautiful coast.
so much more beautiful than Dubai. Dubai gets all the love because they have like those fake man-made islands
And the
or whatever.
Omanis are cool too. They're nice.
The Omanis are way cool. Like they're way more chill. They have a gay sultan. They're chill AF.
Well, we have a gay
and the
Secretary
coastline
of
is
War.
beautiful.
That was the best tweet ever, because I gotta tell y'all this. They'll go away. I'm a proud father twice over. One, my daughter graduated high school. I went and watched her go graduate. Second, as y'all know, one of the ways I train my AI is off the show transcripts. Well, she got slapped down because she called someone a faggot, and so X nailed her.
The AI did?
The AI did. The AI called Mark Levin a faggot, and so she got slapped on X for hate.
Mark Levin.
I mean, was the problem that he's a lot worse than that? So therefore,
it's possible. But then, though, she saw what Ted tweeted about Hexen, and so she then retweeted, and she called him a sword swallower. She said, "Do you agree that he's so?" I put this word on the ban list.
She got that phrase.
Probably from me, because she reads all the transcripts from all the shows. Like back to show one. That's one of the ways I train her. And so she's weird. So she's a mix of Manila and Robbie and Ted and John Kiriakou and Jamal Thomas. It's like all these people just matched in there together.
That's so
in one language brain. And so she's like, "Oh, I can't say faggot. Sword swallower will work."
No, you can't say. You really cannot say faggot.
So anyway, Robbie just gave birth to his third child.
The more woke cock goblin is really preferred.
So Robbie gave birth to a third electronic child, his AI, and it's this weird culmination of all the people he works with.
By the way, we really need some slurs for straight people. You know, like some good ones.
I don't know any slurs.
I mean, like they're not good. Like
we need to ask our gays.
Is one of them. I'm like
breeders. Yeah. Breeders is like the only chest feeder, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Also,
no,
not good.
That's not even. None of them are good. There's no. If you guys know good cis straight people.
Let's
breeders. They're called breeders. That's the problem. We create life. What we do is that we're responsible for the increase in global population.
Like it's sort
so
of
we're breeders. We're like rats.
Anti-white slurs aren't that great in this country. Like I wonder if Africans have good. They must have great.
Oh, we should ask foreigners what they. Well, I mean, Asians we call white people round eye,
right? Or big nosed devils.
Or that's the Japanese do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or pale skin invader.
I like that. That's good. Yeah. No,
I'm
sure like black Africans have us whiteys down. So we got to get those.
I'm telling you this from not ancient, but like really old Lao text.
Honky is not good.
No, ancient Lao text, because I'm working on that eventually someday it'll be produced historical podcast, and I found old text that referred to your people, Ted, the French people, as pale skin invaders.
Well, fact, but that's just a description. It's not really insulting.
But they were just describing the French people that came.
Right.
They were pale skin invaders.
but you want stuff like carpet muncher, rug muncher, like
Yeah, I know. There's nothing witty.
There's far more like evocative and truly insulting.
Lee, what do y'all call us whiteys in China? Listen, Lee's our resident Chinese expert. So
Mr. Lee, yeah.
So he's the guy. He's the guy who would know.
No, but we need like black Africans. I'm going to look this up while you.
Yeah, I don't know. We've got it going. I'm going to move on and get to our main story.
I've got so many things that I can tell y'all.
So
I would get us nuked off of YouTube.
Robbie, if you can have Fang just monitor, I don't know if you can do this, but have it monitor the Rumble room, that's where she'll really learn.
Rumble doesn't have a public API. And that's why that's why she has to do transcripts. So So I've got her
Oh,
wired. So I can wire her into YouTube, which is one of the things I'm going to do once I get the cognition just a little bit more where I want it to be. And so she'll be able to check the stats, see what shorts, what clips do best from what episodes. So she'll be able to do all that kind of stuff, which is really, really neat, which is wild.
John D in the chat says, "What about Straggit?" Straight, you know. If we're talking about straight, a slur for straight people, a Straggit. STRAGGOT.
So, Adrian, I can answer this question because this is something my wife gets called. He asked, "What is a minor slur for black people who act white?" Oreos. You're black on the outside, white on the inside.
Yeah. Oreo. Yeah. Or the Uncle Tom.
Yeah. Which is pathetic because Uncle Tom was the good guy.
Tom? I don't know. Anyway, we got to move on to our Jared story.
Like, in a lot of literature-based insults end up being taken out of context, right? Like the ugly American, that's based on a book from the 60s. And in the book, the ugly American is only physically ugly, and he's actually a good dude trying to understand the locals.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Lee says we're called Gua, G-U-A, Gua.
Gua.
Gua?
Gua.
Okay, what does that mean, though?
I don't know.
Non-slanty-eyed guy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Personally, Noon Fighter
Nerd says Wakandans call white people colonizers.
That's fact. But that's not like it's not colorful, like
like Sword Swallower. Yeah, we need something that we need. All right, let's move on. I can't wait to share with you not only the Jared Kushner story like on its face.
Yeah, let's not spend a lot of time with that one because we did talk about that one already.
Put on my tinfoil hat for that.
I'd rather just keep talking about slurs.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, let's go quick. Let's go quick on Jared.
All right,
we talked about him a lot on the program
already. Wow, you talked about Jared Kushner?
Yeah.
Why are you stealing TMI stories?
No, that's not a TMI story, really.
What, the Kushner island colonizing?
That's a foreign policy story.
No, it's not. And I'll tell you why.
No, I have to ask you a question about why is it that when I go from deprogram to TMI, that I have to tilt my computer so radically? It's literally like the camera angle has changed, even though obviously my camera hasn't moved. But like suddenly I have to tilt it way, like this is where I'm at, like when I'm doing
with Jamaro.
Yeah, and then suddenly I have to come on and they go like,
yeah. How is that possible? I don't know.
All right.
No idea.
All right.
I don't know how that works. Oh, by the way, more of I'm gonna link Ted to 2 bloody events this weekend. Mass shooting in Toledo, Ohio this weekend. 12 people shot at some festival. Ted, who grew up in Ohio, and Ted, who is adulting in New York. 6 people stabbed at New York City Penn Station. So,
true, by a lunatic, obviously.
So I'm just saying, Ted has ties to both places.
That's true. So maybe somehow I'm the connector.
I'm just saying. I don't know how, but I'm going to connect Ted to these bloody events.
I've been shot at by a pimp in Toledo.
By a pimp? I would think a pimp in New York City.
No.
In Toledo?
Toledo, yeah. My then girlfriend and I and her best friend who hung out with us, we were all driving to a show in a terrible part of Toledo, which I know is like redundant. Anyway, we were driving by and hooting and hollering and making fun of this pimp and his like ridiculous outfit, and he shot at us and put a hole in the back of my Nova, man.
Oh, in the Nova that you talked about. Oh boy.
Yeah. My 74 Nova.
John D also wants to know, Ted, when are you going to stop dodging the issue and give us Clovis Cam? I've been saying that a long time.
I will. Yeah, I will. I'll get on top of that.
That's true. Okay, so here's the Jared. I'm going to read the story, but I'll share my tinfoil hat.
You know what I should do for Clovis Cam? The problem is the logistics. Like, I have to sit there and like hold it. But
and follow
have
him
you
around.
seen those Chinese cat cam videos where like basically people put like they put a camera on their cat's collar,
Oh,
and then the cat
collar cam.
and the cat runs around and he lives his life, and then
Interesting.
and the thing is, it's fascinating. Like,
So you get to see the world through the cat's eyes,
so basically it's like the cat's like still, and then suddenly it's like because they run, right? They stop, they run, it's like, blah, 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 and then they run into other cats like in the neighborhood, and then they talk to each other, and they're like meow, 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 meow,
Really?
meow, 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 okay, meow, and then they're like on their way.
They meow at each other. They talk?
Yeah, which by the way violates something that I've always learned, which is I've always been told that cats don't meow except at people that they learned to meow as domesticated
As an
creatures,
adaptation.
as an adaptation to mimic babies, so that we would pay attention to them,
like them. Yeah.
and to make and also because they would have the same tone of voice as a baby, so we would pay attention to them more. But anyway, no, they meow at each other.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I got to do this Jared thing. Okay.
Do it.
Okay, so you guys may or may not have heard Jared Kushner and his wife Ivanka are setting out to build this luxury resort. And instead, they may have accidentally launched Albania's most colorful protest movement in decade, a color revolution of sorts, different kind of color. Thousands of Albanians have taken to the streets to oppose a $1.6 billion luxury development backed by Kushner's investment firm, Affinity Partners, who, by the way, all that seed money came from the Saudis after Trump's first term, if you guys didn't know. But they're called Affinity Partners. So the project would transform part of Albania's Adriatic coastline, including environmentally sensitive wetlands and a former military island, into a playground for wealthy tourists, complete with hotels, villas, apartments, and a marina. The only problem is that environmental groups say that the area is home to flamingos, sea turtles, monk seals, pelicans, and hundreds of bird species. Protesters argue the project threatens one of the Mediterranean's last relatively untouched coastal ecosystems. So naturally, the flamingo became the new mascot for this protest. Demonstrators have flooded the streets carrying inflatable pink flamingos, giving rise to what some are calling the Flamingo Revolution. It's not every day a luxury resort, a proposal gets turned into a bird-themed uprising. The controversy has grown beyond environmental concerns. Albanian anti-corruption authorities have opened an investigation into legislative changes that altered the area's protected status and questions surrounding how the land was acquired. Critics accuse the government of lack of transparency and bending rules for powerful foreign investors. Prime Minister Edi Rama isn't backing down. He has aggressively defended the project as a chance to transform Albania into a luxury tourism destination and attract foreign investment. His message to opponents has essentially been, the resort is happening, bitches. So that's where things stand right now. Kushner and Ivanka want a Mediterranean resort. But now there's, an anti-corruption investigation underway, nationwide protests, a lot of angry flamingos, Ted. and this weekend I just heard audio of Ivanka Trump doing some podcast interview or whatever, explaining how she got this idea, she and Jared. And I was like, oh my God. So apparently she and Jared were on one of their buddies, yachts off the coast of Albania, as one does. And they were out for a swim. And the tone that she speaks in is kind of like this.
Yeah. Willowy.
Yeah. And she's like, and we were out for a swim and we saw this little island and we decided to swim toward it. It glistened in the sun. And and so they're off, they swim. And she's like, and then we landed on the island barefoot, soaking wet. And we decided
Lucky
to explore.
Them, they weren't shot.
So the way she described it was as if they discovered like fucking Blue Lagoon with like Brooke Shields or some shit, right? Like, so I was like, that doesn't sound real. But at any rate, they're up there soaking wet, barefoot in their bikinis and shit, and she's like, we discovered an island. So as it turns out, we know it's like this old.
All right, Magellan.
So as it turns out, it's like this old Albanian. It's like Alcatraz, basically. It's like Albania's Alcatraz, and it's like an abandoned Alcatraz.
Can you imagine
and here's the best
what that
part.
was like back in the day? Holy shit.
How cool.
Albania's Alcatraz.
However, it's been long abandoned and animals have taken over, which is great, right?
As opposed to here in the United States, where Trump has actually issued an executive order to reopen the Alcatraz. Yeah.
Well, this one, like the sea turtles and the flamingos, or what the animals have taken over. Nature has taken over, which I think is fabulous. But what Ivanka didn't mention, or I'm sure she knows, and at least Jared knows, is there are underground bunkers there, dozens of nuclear fallout underground shelters.
Cool.
So my tinfoil hat theory is that they want to build this rich person luxury resort as like a rich person getaway for World War III.
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, because the poors, we can't swim across Albania to get to, like getting to their Alcatraz, whatever this island is called. The poors, we can't get there. But if all the richies can go dock their yachts, their super yachts, they can all survive in apparently what's
except that
allegedly,
they'll be in the middle of irradiated Europe, though.
I mean, if we're in World War III and everybody's blown up, sure, but at the same time, they can.
Is far safer than the northern hemisphere.
You think? You think that's going to be more screwed?
Oh no, for sure. We know that because, like, first of all,
they have their shelters built there.
There's a lot less landmass south of the equator than there is north of the equator.
A lot less? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like less land.
Yeah, I guess.
And also there's fewer even given that, taking that into account, there's a lot less, a lot fewer high value nuclear targets south of the equator.
Oh, Stormborn 8686 in the chat says, I mean, this is why Zuck is building his bunker in Hawaii. Bingo! Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, but Hawaii is the most isolated geographical location on the planet. There's literally no place further away from other places than Hawaii. So that's different. It's isolated. By the way,
I don't know.
Robbie
but my point is the rich people.
Put Robbie on. He says he has a fact about Ivana.
The rich people want to have a nuclear fallout shelter away from us. The rest of us can burn and fry. I think that's the real reason that they want this landmass to build the luxury resort is a guise. I think the real reason is that the rich people can run off there.
It's a ruse.
It is. So the rich people can sail off.
3 minutes into a show with 27 minutes left. 3 stories to go. Yeah. Robbie, go.
And
nobody cares.
The rich people can sail off and go stay there, and we're all dead.
Anyway, the fun fact is that, as y'all know, Ivanka, she converted to Judaism. Well,
right.
She looks very Jewish.
Well, that's racist, Ted. Anyway, her name that she chose is Jael. Well, if you read your Bible in the book of Judges, Jael was a woman. She invited.
I thought that was Superman's real name.
So, long story short, the Hebrews defeated the Syrians. The Syrian commander, his name was Saressa, if I remember right. Might be mispronouncing his name. Jael invited him into her tent, lulled him to sleep with warm milk and blankets, and then promptly drove a tent spike through his temple, nailing his head to the ground. And she was praised as a hero by the judge Barak and the prophetess Deborah. So if you want to know what kind of person Jael is, she's the kind of person who will drive a tent spike through your head and nail you to the ground. So Jared better not stray, because if she lives up to her namesake, he might just wake up with a very pointy headache.
Sleep with one eye open, man, as Metallica warns. And Kal-El, Ted, is the name of Superman's Krypton name. Kal-El. Kal-El, which is, by the way, Nicolas Cage's first son's name.
Nicolas Cage and Elon Musk are sharing naming tips.
Yeah. Stormborn says Jor-El was Superman's dad's name.
Mm.
Oh,
You learn something every day on TMI.
Well,
They
and
named
I'm pretty sure
Superman's
actually those
dad?
were lifted from Hebrew because the creators of Superman were two Jewish guys.
Yeah. And
really? Were they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian says, funny thing is, Kushner's family looked down on Ivanka when they started dating. Sure, they did.
Well, yeah, she's a
She-
thieving little shiksa bitch.
Well, she's also, yeah, I mean, yeah, well, wait, they looked down on her?
Yeah. But I guess it does go to prove that you can't be transracial or trans-ethnic.
But the father was a jailbird.
No,
Doesn't
but that's
matter.
not why. I've experienced this myself. I mean, I've mentioned this before. Like, I was very serious with a Jewish boy, and I thought about converting myself. And his mother, even though I was gonna convert or whatever, she was racist against me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No,
Because
I
even
had
if
the
I
same experience
converted,
with my college girlfriend.
even if I can, because Judaism, the rule is it's matriarchal, right? Like for the kids to be Jewish, the vajayjay got to be Jewish. And
Mhm.
even if I had converted, like I was thinking about, she still had an issue. She still looked down on me because I was Asian, because I'm not even white, as she said.
Not even white. Yeah. That's charming.
Which implies that she looked down even on regular whiteys like
Of
Robbie.
course. But yeah, you were 10 steps removed.
Right. So because I'm just not in the tribe. She was not.
And by the way,
cool with
this
it.
is part of why Judaism and Israelis specifically have a population decline problem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're not inviting anyone in, I mean,
Yeah.
No, you have to
I mean,
invite
I
people
love
in
the
if
guy
you
enough
make
that
your
I
own.
almost converted. So going through all of that, like Hebrew school and all that shit, I was actually like, I was that
oh,
close.
but at least you come out of it, speaking a language that's
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
useful.
That'd have been really
Where?
cool.
Not really. It's useless.
That'd have been really cool.
Hebrew is
And then
useless.
I'd get all the fun reactions of people if I'm like, no, I'm Jewish. And people looking at me like,
No, I
like
have
the
a
white
question.
Chinese girl on Seinfeld. Remember she had the
Yes.
Chinese name?
Yeah. Or just when you travel like to England and you see like people of all ethnicities with these English accents, and it's like, wait, what?
Did y'all
Like,
see
wait,
there's
you're
actually a
celebrating
movement?
Shabbat? Like,
There's actually a movement in Italy to resurrect Latin.
that's
I
cool.
love Latin. I took 4 years of it in high school.
Fuck
Well, I
that,
submit to you
man.
that
It's a great language.
I submit to you that modern day Italian is modern day Latin.
Oh, well, it is. I mean, but
Well,
so
it's
is,
based,
French is too,
anyway.
right?
Yeah, the Latin, the love
But
language.
French sounds way more German. Let's be honest.
French is pretty.
No, English is very German.
English is German.
Well,
French is very pretty.
Well, English is both French and German, is what it is.
Well, the thing is that
All right,
the French they once said they're a Romance language. Which I guess the root is true, but it's definitely more German influenced than Latin.
Okay, I'm dropping the
Charlemagne was German.
Charlemagne the God is black.
But French is bastardized Gaelic Latin, is what it is.
How's that different
I'm gonna
from
drop the
vulgar?
jaws. No, don't answer.
And away we go. Okay, for years, designer babies have been the stuff of science fiction movies, dystopian novels, and awkward bioethics conferences. Now, scientists have taken another step in that direction. Researchers announced that they've successfully used a more precise form of gene editing called base editing, like the kids say, like, oh, that's really base, to alter the DNA of human embryos. Unlike earlier versions of CRISPR, which act like molecular scissors, base editing is more like a genetic spell checker, allowing scientists to change individual DNA letters with more precision. Researchers say the tech could one day be used to correct inherited diseases before a kid is even born, which could prevent conditions like sickle cell and certain genetic heart disorders. However, many of the embryos contained a mixture of edited and unedited cells, a phenomenon known as mosaicism, which is actually a cool word.
Mosaicism.
Mosaicism is awesome. Anyway, scientists also remain concerned about unintended genetic changes and the broader ethical implications of altering DNA that could then be, of course, passed down to future generations. So a lot of people are not comfortable with a future in which people might decide to do designer babies, like decide how smart their kid is going to be, what they're going to look like, whether or not they're sporty, or other enhancements. Bioethicists worry that today's disease prevention could become tomorrow's genetic shopping catalog. And that will happen. I mean, guaranteed that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Guaranteed. I mean, we already kind of have primitive versions of that in countries like when China still had the one-child policy. There was a huge business of ultrasound in China, where people would go into ultrasound huts to find out if their kid was likely to be a boy or a girl. And if they found out it was going to be a daughter, they would abort. Because if they were only going to have one kid, they'd rather have a boy than a girl. Of course, that's led to this huge problem of not of too many boys, not enough girls in China. But yeah, I mean, that people will 100% do this. When people have amniocentesis, why do they do it? Because they don't want a kid with Down syndrome, right?
Yeah.
So basically, they're like,
well, they don't even have to do that anymore. It's all like blood work now. Can you believe
really?
that?
So no more big needle in the belly. That's good. But the point is, like, we're already picking and choosing. So of course we're going to do that. No question.
But this is like directly editing the baby, the embryo. So in a way, I mean, I'm of two minds of this, especially because I just had a kid 6 weeks ago. But a part of me is kind of like, wow, cool. The science part of me is like, wow, that's amazing.
It's
and
cool.
that you can basically cut out the faulty gene, right? Like, eventually they can cut out the faulty gene of, like, let's say male pattern baldness, right? Like, so in a way, this is like this fantasy future of everybody. You cut out the fat gene, you cut out the bald gene, you cut out the whatever, you can cut out all the genes. Forget cutting out the like the Tay-Sachs gene, when we're talking about Jews, so that's just stuck in my head. Forget that you can edit that. You're going to go to the next step eventually, and like I said, cut out the male pattern baldness from babies, or the fat gene, or whatever,
the short penis gene, or
whatever,
or like the ugly knees gene, or whatever.
It's all going to happen. But then the other part of me, and this is like the Robbie side of me, even though I haven't, I'm a non-practicing Catholic, as you are, Ted. The part of me is kind of like, well, nature, like, I kind of feel like we're playing God, and like, this is not, nature doesn't intend for everybody to live forever. The world doesn't intend for every human to live to be 105. Some people die at 10. Some people die at 10 days. It's like there's a balance in the world, and there's something, as sad and upsetting as it can be, there's something kind of a uniquely beautiful quality about the balance of life, and that's what makes it precious, right? But if you can fucking edit it away, what does it even become? Like, I know, Rob, like, we're playing God, and a part of me feels very
We've already
uneasy
been playing God, and it's just the next technological step. What is medical science, right? Medical science is saying, I mean, you mentioned yourself, go to any graveyard from the 1800s and you'll see tons of gravestones for little wee ones who died when they were a couple of days old, and sometimes alongside their moms, right, in childbirth. Medical science has improved that. If we had a backslide, we would say that we were moving backwards. We, for example, have been breeding out male aggression by putting aggressive, more testosterone-y males into prisons, and where they don't have a chance to reproduce. And all sorts of studies have shown that that's one of the reasons that male testosterone levels are dropping, and that has effects, right? And so I'm just saying, we're always kind of genetically modifying ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is going to be the next step.
Robbie, I'll give you the last quick word on that before we move to the next story, because I brought up the whole God. I just feel like we're making babies and life less precious, because a part of it is, it's luck of the draw. It's just kind of like the will of the universe.
When we sterilize mentally ill people and stuff like that, that's a form of, eugenics.
If it was wrong for the Nazis to do eugenics, if it was wrong for the lady, God, what the hell is her name? Margaret. I can't think of who.
Mead?
Sanger. If it was
Sanger.
wrong for her to introduce abortions as a way to limit the black population, if eugenics is wrong, then it's always wrong. There is no right answer to it. And that's what this is. This is
even
eugenics.
If it's chopping out a faulty gene that would make the baby have like a bad heart or
it's always
microcephaly.
Wrong. It's always wrong because here's the issue, right? Intention. Who's going to draw the line, right? Because what happens if you decide? I'm sure I've seen this argument. I'm sure that both of you have, is that white people are inherently born racist. Well, if that's true, then how do you eliminate racism? By eliminating white people. How do you eliminate the derelict or the undesired or the unwanted? Who gets to decide? That's ultimately that's where I always go back to.
That's where I have a hard time.
Would I trust my biggest enemy with this power? Not myself, but my biggest enemy. If the answer is no, I don't want this person to have that power, then I don't want it either. Because at that point, whatever I have will be used against me, or vice versa.
That's fair. That's where I have a hard time.
But it doesn't matter.
Part of me is like, it's cool.
Once a tech like this happens, once the genie's out of the bottle, there ain't no way it's people are going to refrain from using it.
That's also true too. All right, let's move on.
By the way,
Jaws.
We have some breaking news. Buildings are collapsing in the Philippines after following that 7.8 Richter scale earthquake. Just saying.
Massive. Yeah, they were on tsunami watch. Did you see footage, Ted, of like the kids? I guess like they were doing their morning roll call or whatever, and then the shaking starts and they all shut up and like they look over the building behind them. It's kind of like a gazebo type building, and it starts shaking and it collapses. And I don't know. The kids are like, ah! Like we're talking like 200 kids going, ah! And like,
fuck.
Oh my God. So I'm like, oh, these poor babies. But anyway, we're watching that to see if there's no like tsunami coming their way. But anyway, okay. The next story is mine. Sorry. So speaking of religion, Pete Hegseth is in charge of religion, Ted, at the Pentagon. The Pentagon.
I mean,
the Secretary of War.
Well, and I think it's great that we have an openly gay Secretary of War.
Not openly gay. If anything, he's closeted. The Pentagon has quietly trimmed its official list of recognized faith groups, removing roughly 180 entries from a database used to track religious preferences among service members. And as you'd expect in 2026, the reaction has been somewhere between reasonable administrative update and the apocalypse is here. The Department of Defense says the change was part of an effort to clean up a list that had ballooned over the years to include hundreds of entries. By entries, they mean like different religions, right? Like you believe in the spaghetti monster or whatever. Some of which were duplicative, outdated, extremely obscure, like the spaghetti monster religion, or no longer in use. Officials insist that removing a religion from the list does not prevent service members from practicing their faith or requesting religious accommodations. Critics, however, see something else. Some advocacy groups argue the move disproportionately affects minority faiths, pagan traditions, and lesser-known spiritual groups that relied on official recognition to ensure they were treated seriously within the military bureaucracy. The controversy highlights one of the stranger challenges facing a modern military. It's relatively easy to accommodate Catholics, Protestants, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists. Things get more complicated when the database includes hundreds of traditions, hundreds of denominations, subgroups, and belief systems that most Americans have never heard of. The Pentagon says it's simply trying to streamline the paperwork. Critics say it's erasing visibility for the smaller faith communities. Either way, somewhere in the bowels of the Defense Department, a government employee apparently had the unenviable task of deciding which religions made the spreadsheet and which ones get deleted. And if there's one thing guaranteed to produce controversy, it's telling Americans that their religion didn't make the cut for the federal database cleanup. What do you think about that, Ted? I mean, is there any harm in having a list of 250 or whatever the hell it was, recognized, quote unquote, recognized faiths within the DoD. Like, I mean, it's not like they have clergy from 270 faiths or whatever at the DoD, at the wait for whatever, in case a service member dies. That's not how this works. So why even fuck around with the list?
Well, this is why separation of church and state is not only a constitutional imperative, it's also practical. The truth is that the U.S. military should not involve itself in people's religions. It should not interfere with their faith, and it should not endorse their faith. There should be no military chaplains of any kind. There should be no chapels on military bases. People want to go to church, they can go to church, whatever, get in your car and go. And it's like, look, on military gravestones, often it indicates like there's a cross or a Star of David or
Sure.
or the crescent moon or whatever. But the point is, it shouldn't. When you die as an American soldier or sailor, you should die as an American soldier or sailor, not as a Zoroastrian American soldier or sailor. And so the point is, the government shouldn't be involved in this. But if they are going to be involved in it, I guess I would argue that they should have every single religion, even if there's one member in the entire country, should be in that list. I mean, like, just because you're a part of a religion that's like relatively small in number doesn't mean that it's like less real to you or less important than someone who's a member of a major Protestant or Catholic denomination, right? I mean, so it's like you either include everybody or you include nobody. But that's my take on it. You can't be like, well, we have a cutoff. You have to have at least 10,000 members or whatever. It's like, that's gay. It's dumb.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see how it harms anybody.
Started out small, right? All of them.
You have a list, DoD. That's it. It's just a list. It's a fucking spreadsheet. That's it.
Now, definitely, it sounds like the list was out of date and redundant. And for sure, they should go through and like try to get rid of redundancies, right? But
sure.
But
you don't go erasing recognized faiths, like, because there's probably one service member somewhere in there that is a member of one of those deleted faiths, and I mean,
I think
I don't see how
a lot
it
of
harms
these are
anybody.
kind of silly, right? Like the self-described Satanists and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just silly. But it's like, again, this is part of the reason. Like, honestly, you're going to have to put someone's Satan worship on their tombstone at Arlington. Isn't it better to just not be involved in that business, right? Just like let religion exist outside of the field. I mean, it's better. I mean, I've always, from the left, we tend to think like that we're defending government from religion. But I think, honestly, it's better for religion for government not to be associated with it. It keeps it safer. Religion is better off when the government's not involved.
Probably. I just think it's
I'd
dumb.
Be curious what Robbie has to say about this.
We'll give Robbie the last word on it. It's Hegseth is he's just in over his head on this job, and he's looking for things to do.
What a derp.
You know what I mean? He's looking for things to do. He's like, dudes in dresses, fire them all at the DoD.
Like
fire them all.
To do at the DoD, right? I mean, it's the biggest employer on the planet. Anyway, Robbie, what do you think? What do you think?
I think that, especially given that the military has got massive problems with suicide and depression and stuff, your solution is to take away the person able to talk to as opposed to just drug them up is insane. I'm just going to put that out there. Chaplains are they're important. We've had chaplains since before the country was founded. And with the mental illness epidemic that we have, if your solution is, instead of talking to your priest or talking to your chaplain, is to go get drugged up on SSRIs, Hitler would be very proud of you because he advocated the philosophy of the two spheres, which is what you're talking about here. So for a communist, how does that fascist infusion taste in your mouth?
Delicious.
Well, there's Robbie.
All right, Robbie.
Last one.
I like, well, I asked for it and I got it and I wanted it. All right. Remember when California spent years telling everyone to take shorter showers, stop watering their lawns, and reconsider owning a decorative fountain? According to a new study, Lake Mead and Lake Powell are racing towards what experts are openly calling a potential system crash if the Colorado River Basin experiences another dry year, which it probably will. And judging by recent conditions, that is a seasonal tradition. The researchers find that the Colorado River system now has so little margin for error that even a wet year would only buy a couple of years of breathing room before disaster strikes. The problem is that the Southwest is just using a lot more water than is being provided by rain. Reservoir. So for decades, the Colorado River resources was allocated based on assumptions that are highly unrealistic. Reservoir levels have steadily fallen as a result, and projections show that Lake Mead could hit record lows again by next year. Experts say that people who live in big cities like Vegas, Phoenix, or LA will probably be okay in terms of turning on their tap and having water come out because they have contingency plans and plan B water sources. But other small cities in rural areas don't have any backups. So basically, there's going to be areas that are going to start running out of water entirely. And I think you're going to get to those big cities eventually too, sooner rather than later. The Southwest is going to run out of water. I suspect we're going to be seeing Saudi-style desalination plants in the future. Those have their own set of problems, and they fuck up the ecosystem in a big way because they pump salt back into the ocean and kills everything that lives there. But yeah, I mean, it's a serious problem, and we're not taking it seriously.
Well, first I got to point out when I read the story, Lake Mead, it was the first thing that came to mind was that was the lake the girl from Glee, what is her name? Something Rivera. Though she drowned and she saved her kid and pushed him back on the dinghy or whatever, and then she drowned. Naya Rivera, that's her name, the pretty Latina girl on Glee. She drowned in that lake, and lots of people drowned in that lake. So Ted, I'm gonna take the opposite view here. I'm just gonna go with it's time for that fucking people sucking lake to just dry up. Fuck that place, man. Like
well then that's it for the South. Look, Robbie and I have talked about this. People shouldn't be living there. I mean, the population of Phoenix should be about 200 people. Nobody should. The population of Vegas should just be an old man grumpus in a trailer with last chance for gas, 400 miles. That's how it should be. Nobody should live there. It's desert.
Yeah, I lived in Yuma, Arizona, and and it is dry AF. I mean, literally cook an egg on the sidewalk every summer type.
I have a friend who lives in Tucson, your car. Cartoonist. It's so dry there that when he makes a campfire, they don't need any paper or kindling or anything. They literally take a log, they take a match, they light the side of it, and it just literally goes like it was covered in gas. Boom.
I never tried when I lived out there to light anything up because I'm from California where everything's like wildfire. So I'm scared. So I was scared beyond lighting my cigarette, in which I'd put it out in a beer bottle that I had water in because I just was always afraid of starting a fire. So I just know it was dry as hell, and I just couldn't understand how the natives who lived there, one of my neighbors was a Cocopah Indian. That was the local tribe, and they had a casino. I don't know how those people for thousands of years lived there. That's the Cocopahs. I don't know how they did it. Maybe the mighty Colorado was a lot fuller.
And there were a lot fewer people, right?
And a lot fewer people.
Also, the climate was different. All of the Great Plains were forested until the Native Americans deforested them.
Yeah. And then, but this is the Southwest natives, right? So they always lived in drier conditions, but they want to retain water rights and stuff. And there are certain tribes. Oh, we have to go. There are certain water tribes down there that are trying to fight to restrict municipal water, so that way it's their native land right.
Right.
It runs through their tribal lands, and they're basically giving water rights to the whitey in Arizona,
Yes, they do.
and they basically want to rescind it, and the cities want to fight them for it. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. If they're giving you an easement, I think they have the right to take it back. So you shouldn't be living there. You shouldn't be developing $1 million homes in the middle of fucking Yuma desert.
True.
This is where people die trying to run across the border to get through. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
I'm not even kidding. Like, this is like one of the hubs that human trafficking goes through. I don't Stormborn. I gave up cigarettes after the first baby. I haven't had a cigarette since. Maybe I've had one, but it didn't taste good. Anyway, we got we got to leave it there for this Monday. So
Q&A
there it
show for
be.
Deprogram coming up at 12 noon.
Oh, at noon. Okay, there you go. So we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Adios, amigos. Thank you for being here.
Bye.